So we went and we had coffee at Peddler's Fork in Calabasas, and we sat there for nearly 5 hours and lost time. I almost missed my COVID test at Dancing with the Stars. He missed the beginning of his meeting with Masked Dancer that was a Zoom call. And a few days later, we did it again, and we did that 5 times, and then we kissed for the first time, and it was fireworks.
Today's podcast is brought to you by our friends over at the Forum Shops at Caesars Palace. The Forum Shops is recognized as the premier shopping and restaurant destination in Las Vegas, offering an impressive combo of luxury shopping and dining amongst a themed atmosphere that's perfectly located at the center of the Strip. And to give you guys a little teaser, they've got Gucci, Fendi, Versace, Aritzia, which is a little bit more affordable. And then the restaurants, RPM Italian, Sushi Roku, Joe Stonecrap, which is my personal favorite. The list goes on and on and on. So shop while you're slightly tipsy. It's a win. It's a win-win. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Not So Hollywood. I am here joined by the gorgeous, incomparable dancer and choreographer, Miss Sharna Burgess.
Thank you.
And I promise, Sharna, by the end of this interview, I'm going to find out if there's going to be a green at the end of that name at some point. If we're going to have a hyphen.
All right, we'll save that to the end of the interview.
Very end.
There we go.
You've done this once or twice, right? The hard-hitting stuff for the end.
Exactly. More babies, the marriage, like all those things. We're going to save it to the end.
She's done it once or twice. But no, truly, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And, you know, the show is so much about sort of the un-Hollywood side of celebrities, of people we know in the public. So for example, right, it's a Friday, TGIF, by the way, around 11 o'clock. When you're not working, where would we find you?
Well, today you'll find me at Universal with the kids because it's spring break. So we are doing a lot of activities with the kids this week. But any other week, I'm momming it real hard right now. I have in the best way. I mean, I have a 9-month-old at home, 3 incredible bonus babies at home. And life is busy and very, very full. So I'm with my baby a lot. We do swimming lessons now. He's in infant survival swim training because summer's coming up. It is one of the most awful things. I'll need therapy after this experience, but he will be okay. And you know, I'm just loving the family life at this point. I've got a lot of work coming up soon. So I really like to take my time of doing nothing but just existing in my world as often as I can.
Do you notice, like for me in this business, because we are kind of all over the place, right? There's up and down. You have Dancing with the Stars, but then you have time off. Do you get nervous in your times off?
You know, I used to not know how to sit still. My whole life, I have been incredibly busy and doing more than one thing at the same time. Dancing with the Stars used to be 2 tours a year and 2 seasons a year. And I would find that in those very, very brief off moments of like 2 weeks, I'd start to get anxiety, like I'm supposed to be doing something. But I don't really get that anymore. I find that I really value my time to myself, my time with my family, time of stillness. And I feel like I don't find boredom anymore. I like being able to have my own time. I think those thoughts of anxiety, I've got to be doing more, were really apparent for me up until probably my early 30s. And I realized for me that work was always such a way for me to avoid other stuff going on in my life. Like just stay busy, just stay busy. And I think since I started all that deep work that often people begin to do in life and starting to go back and look at programming and past trauma and really finding how to find you, I love the stillness and I love the quiet. Not that I get much of it at this point with the kids in the house. But
if you're able to capture a couple moments, what do you do to relax? Like the deep chill, how do you get there?
So for me, a gratitude practice is a big thing. Before having the kids around, I had an amazing morning routine. That was where I found my chill. It was gratitude practice. It was meditation. It was taking my dogs on a walk. It was coffee was like a ritual. Now those moments look very different. If I have a moment to chill, it might be put a meditation on in my car for 15 minutes and just take a second to really level myself out. or it is reading my favorite book for an hour or something that I'm in
What
the
are you
middle of.
reading? Anything good?
Oh, I love all sorts of things. I love fantasy fiction novels at the moment. They're like the angels and demons and werewolves and like vampires, all that really crazy out
Dungeons
there
and
stuff.
Dragons stuff?
Dungeons and Dragons, not as much.
Okay.
But it's definitely like the mystical fae world of getting lost in this fantasy that you can imagine in your mind. It's like reading Harry Potter when you're a kid, you know.
Okay, I'm not quite there. I'm like all sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Love that.
For my books.
Yeah.
But I can admire that that's your thing.
Yeah.
So I want to talk really quickly because you said the baby's 8 months, did you say?
9 months.
9 months. Zane.
Yes.
What a cute name.
I know.
Where'd that come from?
Zane Walker Green. So we just went through a bunch of different names of seeing what we liked, and we'd say them and whether they felt right or didn't. And I had a huge long list. And it ended up that I liked Zane the most and Bri liked Walker the most. And we couldn't figure out, was it Walker Zane Green or Zane Walker Green or a different name and in the middle, and just one of those two. But it ended up that Zane Walker Green just felt really good. It felt like it had a nice flow to it.
You just know it.
Yeah, it just felt right. It feels creative. It feels strong. It feels like he can be anything he wants to be. And it's a really cool name.
Yeah, individual too.
Yeah.
Right. You were very sort of candid about your own postpartum journey. And for me, I suffered horribly. I felt like I was living in a video game.
Yeah.
And I literally, I joke about this now, but it wasn't funny at the time. I hid my daughter Sonnet under my sweatshirt for the first year of her life. Anybody who came near, I shot daggers at them.
Yeah.
It was, both my babies were preemies and they were not well early on. One had to go back to the hospital with RSV. The other one was in NICU.
I'm so sorry.
But again, you grow from it, right?
Yep.
But in the moment, what helped me was going to a therapist, getting pharmacology, Lexapro, which I'm still on. I say if you're Jewish and over 30, you like have bad stomach or you need mental health issues. I have mental health issues, but so I got on Lexapro and then I ate healthy and went on walks and did stuff to help. But it took a good few months to get back into the right healthy mind.
Yeah.
So what was your experience like?
God, it's so much. I still feel like, sorry, I'm still in it. It's this thing, and I've said this before on my social media and in my sharing. When it's your first baby, everyone tells you, oh, you're never going to know a love like this. There's going to be a whole other part of you that opens up and expands and it's love and you'll never knew it existed before. And that is so true. It's so true. But what no one really prepares you for and what we do not talk about enough as women is the equal amount of fear that now lives alongside that love. That you love this baby more than your own life, more than anything else in this world. That nothing else matters other than their safety. And your brain starts to go into overdrive of all the things that could hurt them or take them away from you.
I know. I remember that.
And it's paralyzing. It is paralyzing. And I remember in the first 2 weeks, I was so overwhelmed with all of these feelings and emotions that I would just cry looking at him, and not through sadness, through joy and being overwhelmed, but it was a lot. It was heavy. And then understanding that the jolting thoughts that you have when they're in your arms and you're going downstairs and you envision tumbling down.
Oh my gosh, I do remember all of it.
Or being in the car and this jolting vision of a car sideswiping you and suddenly you're spinning out of control and your baby's in the back seat. Like, there are these horrible, intrusive, dark thoughts that happen, and I thought I was on my own with those until I started talking to other women and realized, wow, this is truly a part of your postpartum journey for every mother. And we all need to learn how to handle it. I went to therapy after I had my first panic attack ever in my life. I've never been someone that has panic attacks. And I went to Brian. I explained to him what happened. I was like, baby, I definitely need to go and work on this. I need to see someone. I'm going to start therapy again. Full support from him, of course, full support and love. And it was so helpful to be able to talk about it with someone without feeling shame in saying these thoughts, because you do feel shame. There's shame that comes up when how do I explain that I've just watched something horrible happen to my baby and it was my fault? In my head.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
It's funny that Brian was so supportive because my husband was like, not physically, but like shaking me. Get it together. What's wrong
snap
with
out
you?
of it.
I don't know you to be this person. You're supposed to be a boss bitch. What happened?
Yeah.
You know? And I actually felt bad for him. He had no idea what was going on. The man in their own right sort of suffers as well.
Totally.
You know what I mean? But the goal is, and I think if you're able to find the proper help and look within and get the rest you need, because so much of it for me at least was triggered by not sleeping.
Oh God, yes. Sleep deprivation makes you crazy.
Oh my God, it's like cruel and unusual punishment. So once you're able to kind of tap into it and get the help you need, hopefully, are you feeling better?
I definitely feel better. I definitely have tools now instead of trying to like shake them and make them go away and feel shame. My tool is that I say thank you to the universe. Thank you for the clarity of the things that I need to protect my baby on. Thank you for the understanding this could happen. Thank you. Thank you. That's the only thing I can say. Thank you for the clarity. And now I'm moving on. Like, thank you for the awareness being brought to me of this possibility. I'm now aware of that, and that will never happen. So thank you for the awareness.
Right.
And I move forward.
Like the thoughts, let them pass. Don't give them so much power.
Exactly. Because when I give them in the beginning, when I was feeling awful about them or like trying to make them go away, or that confusion of, is this a premonition or am I about to manifest?
That's scary. That's really scary.
Yeah, because you do that to yourself, right? Like, am I now imagining the future? Or if it's not that, am I about to create it by manifesting
of course.
it?
Right. Like self-fulfilling prophecy.
Oh,
no, but don't
crazy.
even go there.
Yeah.
I want to switch gears for a second to your very un-Hollywood moment that you just totally teed up for us on Instagram, because you looked dynamite. You and Brian walked the red carpet for some award show. Was it iHeart?
iHeart. Mom and Dad's Night Out.
Okay.
I know, it's so good.
And you're like, let me also just tack on at the end a picture of you. It was a picture of yourself, right?
Yep.
Sitting there on the couch.
Yep.
With bruised lips.
Yep.
I'm going to let you take it from here.
So I was sitting on the couch. It's a week later and I have all these amazing photos because we got dressed up and I was so loving those photos and kids and life. I hadn't been able to post them. And I was laughing at myself posting these completely glammed out photos, mermaid hair and makeup for 3 hours to get to that point, body makeup, the whole thing. And then there's me on the couch with these bruised lips from this dissolving that I did, posting with not an ounce of makeup on, with a hat. And I was like, people need to see that this is not real life.
Yeah.
Like, this is my real life.
Does J-Lo ever have those moments? That's what I want to know.
You know what? I wish she'd share them, because she's amazing.
Make the rest of us feel better about ourselves, because it's so true. I think I took a selfie today in the sunlight and I was like, nice brown spots. Like, what the hell? Yeah. When did that happen?
Nice pause. When did they get so big? Yeah.
Like, come on now. What's up with the lip dissolver? I feel like everybody is dissolving their injection or Juvederm.
I didn't even know this was an everybody thing, but
this is like new.
This is, so I just had this done and I haven't done lip injections for years. I did them a few times. There was one time where it was wildly too much, but I haven't done them in 3+ years.
But it lingers.
But that's what I got told. It can stay in your body for up to 25 years.
Wow.
So I was like, well, you know what? I don't want anything in my body that can last for 25 years like that. So let's see where we're at then. And I did the dissolving a little over a week ago.
Your lips are very full. Is this natural?
This is totally natural, but this is also like liner and gloss.
Right. I overdraw the shit out of my lips. Yeah, let's be real.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's like up to my nose. It's like you missed the spot there. Our makeup girl, the way Sharna and I know each other is through the most phenomenal person and makeup artist, Mallory Jo. Mm-hmm. And she does your makeup. She does my glam as well. Yeah. When we've got the time and the money.
Oh, yeah.
For budget for that, you know? And
she's amazing.
She's so good. And does she not have you down like to a science at this point? Knows
it's
exactly
phenomenal.
What you want.
Yeah. No one else can do my face like Mallory's, which is why I got her on Dancing with the Stars the minute there was an opening. I was like, please, I need you to beat my face for the show. It has to be you.
Always look so good.
Thank
you said things are about to start getting really busy. Are you going back on dancing?
So I am, hopefully, fingers crossed, that's going to be in September. If they want me, I'll be back. I so want to dance. My body wants it. I want to go back to the show. I love the way it is on Disney Plus now. The way, me as an audience member last year, I had the time of my life. And we have a new executive producer, which I think has changed and really brought back the magic in the family that it used to be. So yes, hopefully they will have me.
And Julianne Hough, did you hear about this, Steve?
Yeah,
She's
yeah, yeah.
hosting, co-hosting. Who's her co-host?
Alfonso.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Alfonso will do it.
Brian, is he such a pro at being a dad because he's done it 4 times before? Is that right?
Yeah, he's got.
So this is his 5th baby.
This is his 5th baby.
Dad. Oh my God. Is he a
So
pro?
amazing. Yeah, he's a pro. It's been incredible having him as my partner, honestly, because not only does he know exactly what he's doing and it gives me confidence, but as you know, you instinctively just know shit as a mum.
No
They come out of
question.
you, and it doesn't matter if you've raised 17 babies. I know what this baby needs. Like, I feel it in the cells of my body.
Yep.
And so he's been incredible at allowing me to discover things and trust my own instincts with that. Because in the beginning, it was very easy for me to be like, oh, he knows, so trust what he's saying. And then when I decided, no, I know better. Actually, I know what he needs in this moment. And he was really open and accepting, like, of course, baby, like whatever the situation was. And so he's allowed me to really flourish as a mum too. But having his support means the world. And whenever I've had questions about, I don't know, I'm not sure about this, he's done it so many times. He totally knows. And I have so much respect for my friends that I know of, and also anyone that's having a baby for the first time and you're both new parents, because that must be insane.
Oh, right. You can be like, he's a little bit like blue. Is this normal? And Brian probably knows.
Yeah.
So, right, going through it together, I felt like I needed a doctorate.
Yeah.
To be a mom, a new mom, and especially to a preemie. I mean,
Yeah.
like, what?
Oh my God.
So that's why I say, like now 6 and 8, what a sweet spot.
Yeah.
Let's talk about did you know, Steve, that she has a podcast coming up with Brian?
Yeah.
Wait, what? I love it.
This is super exciting.
I do. It's really exciting. We're hopefully going to have our first episode around Father's Day. That's the plan. We're still working out some details, but it's called Oldish.
Oldish.
I love it.
Oldish.
Yeah.
Absolutely
because
love it.
that's where we're at, and oldish.
Well,
to
you're
me-
not.
Sort of, though.
He's an old man, right?
Oldish to me is like, when you hit that point in life where you're like, okay, I'm old enough to know better and I'm no longer young enough to get away with doing the wrong thing anyway.
Yes.
I'm at that point where I've really got to start making better decisions, take more responsibility or accountability. Or a lot of people these days in their 30s start hitting that like, oh, I want to do some work on myself. That's that thing for me. It's like, not that you're old. I think age is a number, but old-ish is like, I'm older, I'm more grown, and I've got some shit to figure out, or I've got some shit to say, and you're feeling really good about yourself and where you are in life.
There's one more part of that though too, which is being a parent now. Now you think like, I have to take care of myself for my kids.
Yeah,
and,
big time.
And as they get older, I mean, I have a 12 and a 10 going older from where you were saying. Now it's like, I have to be responsible because now I have to do what I say. Yes. So there's
by
that part of
example.
parenting
So
too.
we shouldn't be falling on the floor drunk.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
damn it, those days.
Yeah.
So that's where oldest starts coming in, I think too.
We're really excited about it for all those things and for what it will mean to any of the people that we talk about, because we are going to interview on it. And the way we want to do this right now, the plan is to do 2 episodes. We're going to be live, 2 episodes a week. And the
Live?
The first.
I think that's phenomenal.
Yeah, and the first episode will be us talking about a subject, whatever that is. We'll have many different segments and fun, and we'll be sharing our own opinions and stories on that subject. And then that allows people a couple of days to email in, or they're going to call in for live calls on the second day, which will probably be like the Friday, and then we'll talk to people about that same subject.
So good.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this.
Thank
And
you.
look, when people want to obviously know about the juice, about you and Brian and how you met and your relationship, etc., how candid are you going to get?
We're super candid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for Brian and I, anytime we get asked questions, there's really nothing that we won't answer, especially when it comes to us, how we met, what it's like with life. A lot of people love to talk to us about co-parenting. I think that's a really big and interesting subject for a lot of people that they experience too.
So let's go there then to
Okay.
co-parenting, because you seem to have nailed it. And Brian obviously has a formerly public relationship with Megan Fox, and you came into the picture.
Mhm.
And what I loved, I remember, is that Megan posted on Instagram or something saying, I thank God for Sharna. And that felt like girls looking out for each other
Right.
in that situation. What is the relationship like? What are the birthday parties like?
Honestly, the relationship is great. We're actually all going to Universal today all together, which is amazing for the kids. And the reason it's great is because the focus is the kids. There's nothing else that needs to be considered other than making this a beautiful, healthy, and whole environment for them. For them, representation matters. So for them, okay, mommy and daddy aren't together anymore, but they still get along really well and we can still do things with each other, and communication, mutual respect, learning how to show love for people around you. That's all the stuff that they're watching, and that's so important. We do a great job of co-parenting, and we have fun with it as much as we can. I think there's this weird archaic idea that exes can't be friends and that co-parenting has to be hard, and people try to protect kids from divorce as much as they possibly can so that they're not affected, but the truth is they're going to be affected. So you can only choose if there is a positive effect or a negative effect, and they have worked so hard to make it a positive effect on the kids, to make sure everything is smooth and loving and kind always for them.
And does it help that she has a partner and that obviously Brian has you? Does it help that you guys have other partners?
I don't even know if it's significant, to be honest,
Really?
because there's no need to have that other person, to have that other person involved. It really comes from Megan and Brian making that choice to have a smooth, beautiful co-parenting relationship. From me wanting to be a part of that family and that co-parenting, and to only add to how smooth that can be for the kids, to really caring about the kids at its core. Whether Megan had a partner or Brian had a partner, I believe that they would still try and make that the same environment for their kids.
Regardless.
Yeah, regardless.
So you guys are going to be like, because I'm sure the paps are going to be out there getting pictures of you today. So are we going to see you and Megan walking together, like holding ice cream cones? Is that what it's like? Or are you going to be knocking back a few drinks? But
I don't think, no, we won't be knocking back a few drinks and hanging out with the kids at Universal, but we'll be having fun, probably holding too many jackets and bags and toys, one at all the things, normal parent stuff.
And everyone's talking and hanging out.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm just saying, do not judge, but I do take a flask to theme parks.
I love that
when I'm with my kid.
That's amazing.
Because it just makes it more palatable.
I haven't done that yet, but I should.
It just dawned on me, you're still at the theme park point with the stroller loaded with the jackets, the lunches, the extra bottles.
We're actually not even there yet, because I'm not going to take Zane today. He's staying with the grandparents.
Oh, that's smart.
Because he's 9 months, and we're also doing Disney on Sunday, and my heart wants to take him to Disneyland, but he's not going to enjoy it. And you know what it's like that first year, if they're off their nap schedule and their feeding schedule, it's just uncomfortable for them.
And
so
you're so much nicer than I am. I would like throw him in the stroller and be like, shush. But yeah, I feel like you would, because you've got such a calming nature. I feel like the baby would be in the baby Bjorn and you'd be sitting on the sidelines, and it's like nice for you to be able to enjoy the other kids too.
Right.
Rather than having to have the responsibility of the baby there.
Totally.
Yeah.
And that's also the thing I try. And so does Bri, but very much me. Since Zane has come along, I try and make sure that the kids also have time with us and with me that is just theirs. Because I never, as much as they love and are obsessed with Zane, oh my God, they want to change his diaper. They want to sleep in the room with him. You know what I mean? We are so lucky. But I want them to always know that they are equally as important, even though Zane needs just so much attention right now.
Yeah.
So today is a really special day to spend with them, to see all of us together and not have to worry about baby Zane needing to take a nap.
Yeah.
We can
Sharna, you're like the perfect mom. What the hell?
No.
Why are you so calm and mellow?
No.
I was not like this, Steve. I had gray hairs freaking poking out everywhere. Like, you were like the ideal mom. It's got to have something to do with growing up in Australia.
You know what? It is so, Australians are very chill in nature. We're very calm, chill personalities. But just to answer you, I'm so not. Like, I actually have a post lined up that I wrote yesterday, but it was my mum's birthday, about having an incredibly overwhelming week and wanting to share with people that I often share the highlights on Instagram, but I wanted to share some contrast because at the same time, I have days where I feel like I can't get it right, days where I'm on top of the world, and then others where I feel like I don't know what way is up. I'm doing it all wrong. Days where my temper is a little bit shorter. Days where
That's what it is.
Days where I do.
You don't seem like you have a short fuse. I guess you just nailed it.
I don't have a short fuse for sure, but I do get times. You know what, a toxic trait? My toxic trait is that I don't have a short fuse, and I will push everything back until it snaps.
You stuff.
I stuff.
Stuff it down.
Exactly.
Got it.
So we all have our own things, and I'm by no means an ideal anything, but I do my best to work on them, to recognize when things are coming up for me, and to use the tools that I've designed with therapy and myself to help me get through it. But I fuck it up all the time.
Okay, because I was about to get down into a fucking child's pose and have you lead a yoga meditation class here.
No, God, no.
I want to, because we've talked so much about these un-Hollywood moments. A sort of Hollywood story is that you and Brian met via business manager.
Is that Hollywood? I don't know.
Kind
How random.
Is that but I remember at the time he was sort of like going out on all these random dates, and then it was like, oh, look at who he's dating now.
So he's never really talked about that part, like the dates that he went on. He got accused of dating and sleeping with all of these other women, and he had gone on dates, yes, but he wasn't physically with them like that. There was one, I don't even remember her name. Not Tina. She's lovely. The other one.
Right. It was Courtney Stodden.
There we go. Made out that he was something that he completely isn't, that he was taking advantage. He barely even kissed her. There was no physical relationship between them. I got so mad about those stories. But anyway, we met via he's just not that guy. I hate that people think that he was for a moment, but I think they see that he's not that anymore.
Right.
But we met
Look
through
at this,
a business
protecting
manager.
our man.
I know. Mama Bear comes out, and I just want to tell him all the truth.
Good.
And he's the kind of personality that's like, let him talk. It'll blow over. No one cares. It doesn't matter to me.
But you have his back.
I have his back, and I want to scream it from the mountaintops on the type of human he is. But yes, we met via our business manager. We have a mutual business manager. He's been with her for over 20 years, me with her for like 8-9 years. And she said to me, there's this person I really want you to meet. He's finally ready to meet someone. When I'm around him, I think of you. When I'm around you, I think of him. I don't know what it is, but I think you guys should have coffee. And I was like, okay, weird request. Bri was doing Masked Dancer at the time. So she's like, look, just make it a work thing. It could be a dance thing. He's consulting with you about like dancing or whatever, because he's going to be a judge on a dance show. And if you like it, then have another date. So we went and we had coffee at Peddler's Fork in Calabasas, and we sat there for nearly 5 hours and lost time. I almost missed my COVID test at Dancing with the Stars. He missed the beginning of his meeting with Masked Dancer that was a Zoom call. And a few days later, we did it again, and we did that 5 times, and then we kissed for the first time, and it was fireworks, and it was like, oh shit.
Excuse me while I freaking melt here and say it. Like, that's really sweet.
It was amazing. And it was
during COVID almost.
Yeah, it was like, not the end of COVID. I mean, COVID still exists, but things had softened. You could sit at cafes and you could do a little bit more now, but you were still like masks and whatnot.
I just think like there is something, don't take this the wrong way, but like oddly romantic about falling in love in COVID.
Yeah.
Because you're locked up in a house by yourself.
Yeah.
Like that was the only, people falling in love in COVID are the only ones who escaped the terror of it, basically.
Right. I mean, this is going to be such a shitty thing to say, but I had a blast.
Yeah, I can imagine. If I were you, I would too.
COVID was great for me. And I know it wasn't that period of time. No, not COVID. The pandemic, like that period of time of having to just be at home. I was with my dogs. I met the love of my life. I spent more time connecting via like Zoom with family. Like there were things that came out of it that I was like, I'm going to focus on this so I don't lose my mind from not working, because I do love to work. But yeah, I had a great time. So much stuff came out of that was beautiful for me. So,
all right. So then I think it's a fair time to ask, when is green going to be hyphenated onto the Burgess?
We've saved it. We're here. I don't know. Tell the man to hurry up. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
And I know it's definitely going to happen. He's going to do it in his own moment. He wants to choose and design the ring. Any of my friends that are like, hey, so I can send you photos. He's like, I got this.
Aww.
So, which I love so much. And I'll for sure will have green in my name. I'll hyphenate it. I don't know if I drop Burgess because I feel it's that thing, right?
Of course, you're a strong woman.
I worked so hard to be Sharna Burgess in a dancer choreography and have that name known, but I absolutely want to share my name with him and have green on the end of it.
I think green is totally unoffensive and sounds perfect in the hyphen.
Yeah.
Sharna Burgess Green.
And it's my son's last name. You know what I mean? I want the last name as my son. So yeah, we'll see.
Okay. And then more kids?
Oh, it's not a yes and it's not a no. We want one, but it's like logistically, we then have 5 young kids in the house.
Oof.
So as like
you're
traveling, how many hotel rooms do you get?
Correct.
You know,
how many plane tickets?
How many plane tickets do you have to buy? And we like to fly comfortable up in like first class and business class, but we also don't have that fuck you money that everyone talks about.
Bezos,
but we might need it for 6 kids. You know what I mean?
Seriously.
Yeah. So it's a big thing. We would really love a girl, but Bry's track record is like boys.
Oh, wait. Is he all boys?
Mm-hmm.
Don't even.
All boys.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. All boys.
Oh my God. Well, maybe listen, again, you're 9 months out of the first one.
Yeah.
Give it some time because maybe you will have another one. And then how great would that be if you like kind of cherry on top and you had a girl?
Yeah. Right.
That would be so magical.
We will, we'll let nature do its thing, I guess, but we're definitely actively trying to not have one now. You know what I mean?
Right. You got to
There's precautions we got to take. I also don't know if my body could go through it just this quickly. I want to dance. I want to feel my body. I want to do some things like really get in and have that part of myself come back because dance is so a part of me.
We're going to have to wrap up soon, but I have to like get out a couple quick things.
Yeah.
One of which is you can be sexy. Sharna's sexy and gorgeous, right? She's a 10. Then have you seen her dance? Like, that just gives you you're like a 12 at that point. It's totally unfair. The dancing is so awesome.
Thank you.
Like what a gift you have.
Thank you.
And so I can understand you want to get back to it.
Yeah.
I want to quickly ask you because you mentioned that you're back to where you wanted to be pre-baby. Like with as far as how you look and your weight and everything. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. I'm back to a little bit smaller than I was pre-baby. I'm back to probably before I started dating Bri. You know, when you start dating someone, you're like, oh, fine, I'll eat the pizza. Like it's a little bit of that. I'm back to really my fighting shape of when I feel really good and the weight that I like to be at.
How'd you get there?
So for me, a lot of hot yoga, a lot of Pilates, and honestly, just eating really healthy choices and making sure that I drink a lot of water at the same time. Walking, I'm not really doing big amounts of cardio. I hate cardio unless it's dancing. So it's a lot of long walking, hot yoga, Pilates, and then also very specific exercises that a previous trainer of mine gave me for diastasis recti because I did get some of that, unfortunately, and I need to stitch that back up before I really get back into dancing because I need it for balance and core strength.
Because I asked you also, you did it completely natural, healthy way, but you obviously are all your friends on Ozempic because mine are.
No, all my friends are athletes and dancers, so they've all been naturally or because of what we do, very fit.
What do you think about it though? Like I'm sitting in the corner going, I'm suffering, not eating. Hell, I like shitty foods.
Right.
So like, it's so unfair that there's a pill. Well, now there's a pill. I don't know if you heard that, but there's a shot in the pills and
I don't know,
you know, everyone's losing 20 pounds in a month. I'm like, what? No fair.
It's crazy. But what happens when they go off it? Can they be on it long term? Is it detrimental to your health?
Correct.
At the end of the day, you're putting a chemical in your body, right? What does that do to you long term? I don't know. Is there enough for that? I know there is the argument that it is diabetic medication and that it's also creating a shortage in supply. I don't know facts or logistics on that, but if that is the case, that's really unfortunate.
I think they have so many competing brands now and they've revved up production that now don't quote me,
right?
But I've heard that's under control. But nevertheless, what happens to you when you go off? Or what's the long-term effects? Right. Then again, I'm okay with putting Botox in my face.
Same.
So it's like pick your poison, right?
Yeah, totally. Like, it's a little
For
bit
real poison.
What is that?
For real poison.
Yeah. I
But I'm
know.
with
I
you.
do Botox. I do.
Well, because I need
Actually,
it.
I just did. Is it not? What's the other one? Dysport.
Dysport. How
I
is
did
that?
Dysport. So did it for the first time. I like it.
Okay.
I have like more movement than before,
That's
but
the
I
thing.
like it.
I don't need to be totally still
No.
and frozen.
Yeah.
But I don't need the crazy crow's feet either.
No, I don't. But like I've seen
that's
people
not-
do it where
come
they're
on, we
like
know-
so pulled.
We've all seen them, right?
It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Actually, one of the guys on the show, I won't say who it was, he got Botox for the first time because his wife at the time was doing it. And he turned up to work and we were like, oh my, it didn't even look like his face.
Well,
It was so
Can I
pulled.
tell you?
Yeah.
Men, if you're listening or watching, I don't know. I like Scott asked me, my husband asked if he should get some. I'm like, absolutely not. Like, I want you to
No.
look rugged
Yeah.
and super masculine.
Yeah.
And like, if you're sitting on the couch and farting with a beer belly and a beer in your hand, although he doesn't drink, yes, that's the kind of guy I want. Let's face it, though, Brian does not have the beer belly.
He doesn't have the beer belly.
That guy's
No.
got a six-pack still.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's
Awesome.
genetically though, it's wild. Like the man does zero skincare. It's only now that I'm introducing him to like, baby, you've had a lot of luck he turns 50 this year. Like
Oh
you
my
look
God.
amazing for your
sure
50
does.
years. You just look phenomenal and you're so sexy. But like at some point, your luck might run out. Like maybe we should use a moisturizer. Maybe we
You're sitting
should.
there
Just a little
giving him
bit.
facials with the
Yeah,
cucumbers.
we'll do a little facial. We'll do some stuff together. You know?
Sharna Burgess. Green,
Yeah.
soon to be.
Let's just say it. Let's just manifest
say,
it.
Sharna Burgess Green, you are wonderful and
Thank you.
lovely.
Wait, can I interrupt? Because there's one question. The only question I wanted to ask you didn't ask, so I'm going to ask it.
Yes.
It's dancing.
Yes.
How judgy are you? Like you go to a wedding, they go out on the dance floor. What's the judgy level?
You know what? I'm
Be
actually
honest.
Yeah.
zero judgy. Zero. I actually love the people that do bad dancing.
Okay.
I love bad dancing so
Okay.
much. Honestly, I'm not I was when I was a teenager. I would jump into the middle of the dance circle and get down. But now I'm a step touch girl. I just like to watch.
No way.
Yeah, I am. I love to watch other people let loose and have a good time and dance and move their body because that's the joy in it. Dancing just should not be the idea that you have to be great at it to do it. You should just be awkward and goofy and do your thing. And sometimes I'll just dance badly with people and
I
do awkward
love
and
you
goofy
for
things.
that.
So Uncle Jesper coming out and just trying to get those moves down is great.
That-
for
The
you.
best. It's the best.
That's what it's
but
about,
I'll
right?
tell you,
That's what
let
it's
me
about.
just back up on one thing with that.
Okay.
It's bad dancing's phenomenal. Bad dancers who think they're good dancers. That's where it gets cringy.
Well,
Right?
that for me it's so much less even about the dancing and it's about the attitude on the person out there. Like if you're out there really like thinking you're great and taking up space and not making it feel comfortable for other people and kind of getting in people's faces with things, you're like, I need you to take it down from a 10 to a 1 because you're a
Okay,
lot.
right now.
Yeah. I don't like that either. I don't like cocky people. I also don't like great dancers that get out there and just try and show off sometimes because it's not creating an environment where other people feel confident to dance.
I think that's the bad dancing.
Yeah.
I think everything else is just it's your soul and your spirit coming
Let's
to
just
life.
move and groove.
Move
So,
and groove.
But it's when you do all the things you just said, then it's bad dancing.
Yes.
Until then, anything isn't bad.
anything, yeah,
Right.
I totally agree.
Steve, do you want to like replace me? She's so good, isn't she?
Well, I just have a new podcast they might need a producer for. So
Okay, ding, 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 ding. I heart. Thank you so much again.
Thank you for
and
having
have
me.
so much fun today.
Yes, I will. I'm super excited.
Okay.
awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, who wants to say how much we like her first?
I love her. She's so smart and grounded and earthy and healthy and evolved.
Yeah, she's kind of like what you want to be. Like, I don't know how to explain.
I know. I'm so not that.
Oh, I don't think that's true. I'll say this. I just think she's incredibly relatable, and I think it's interesting for maybe people outside Hollywood or interested in not so Hollywood. That to me, she sounds like she goes through exactly what certainly my wife and I went through with kids and this time of their life and everything.
I'll tell you what I noticed. Now, as an interviewer who often has red tape, plastered around interviews. You know, don't ask this. We want to take this out. She goes, ask me anything. That's literally what she said to me when the cameras weren't rolling. Ask me anything. Okay, I'll take her up on that. She rolled in solo, as we thought. And when you don't have many parameters and you can speak openly, it's so rewarding.
Yeah, like with last week with Bella, I think we talked about in the post show. It was great when she's like, "Oh, this is what I wore." I appreciate it. Like she had some of that too, and I think Sharna was like rolled in like to me. I remember you from blah blah blah. Like just kind of like the sense of like normalcy that like proves that it's here.
And the truth is, she is normal because remember, it's not like she grew up as a child star.
Yeah.
Brian, her husband, did.
Right.
Brian was married to Megan Fox. Like
Right.
that's very Hollywood.
Right.
But she kind of joined that crew. And so this is newer for her, which in a way she could be more affected by it, but she isn't. And so you're right. To your point, exactly. Like, way to go. Super un-Hollywood.
Yeah. On the way out, grabbed a couple Lara bars and said, "I'm heading to Universal Studio. I'll take these for the kids," which is exactly what I would do or my wife would do. You know what I mean? Like it just like that was so cool. So very not so Hollywood. I'm trying to think what else I have to say. Like I just think I was really interested in all the stuff that she talked about, from eating, body, kids.
And you
Very
didn't even
relatable.
want me to, you're like, don't ask how she stays in shape.
Well, I said don't just say you look great. How do you stay in shape?
No, you're so right, by the way, with telling
that's
me
different.
these things. That's
Yes.
guiding interview questions. But the truth is, we got good answers, right?
Yeah, I wanted to know.
There is something though about being an Aussie and being extra healthy. I don't know. Every Aussie I meet like cares about what they put in their bodies.
Yes.
And she's, an example of that. She attributed it to universal health care too, people caring. So she's very in the know. We were just talking outside and some of the things she was saying, I was like, she's got real brains on her, that one. That Sharna, she's got opinions and beauty and brains. And
she can dance.
Oh my God.
All right, there we go. All right, that was good for today. What do you think? Let's enjoy ourselves.